What's up, people? Welcome back to Invest with T-Claus. My name is Tevi, and this channel is dedicated to my investment journey, along with coverage on crypto, Tesla, Neo, Virgin Galactic, and ChargePoint. Come for the information and stay for the perspective. So the crypto market has bounced back this week and is starting to push higher. Bitcoin is once again at 64K for an 8% weekly gain, and Riot Platform is up 6.38%, closing the week at $8.50. We have been range bound since April post Bitcoin halving. The stock has been in the $7 to $12 range ever since then. But if you look on a year-to-date basis, the stock is actually down over 45%. With that in mind, why do I continue to be bullish on the Riot Platform stock? Something interesting happened this week that may very well signal that we are ready to get past this consolidation period. And so in today's video, I'll go over the latest news around the stock, including key takeaways from the Q2 earning results, then take a look at the current consensus analyst rating, how do they feel post earnings, and I'll close with what I'm personally doing as far as buying, holding, or selling. As always, this is not to be taken as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is my personal approach to investing and the thought process behind it. I'd recommend watching all the way through so that you don't miss out on anything pertinent I will be sharing. Drop the video an like if you haven't already, and smash that subscribe button. Those are two easy ways to show your support to the channel and help it grow if you appreciate the content. Alright, let's get into it. The last time I covered the Riot Platform stock, the price of Bitcoin was hovering around the 64K mark. At the time, the stock saw a heavy increase in short interest. Fast forward to today, and the latest posted data around short interest shows a decrease from the nearly 62 million shares being shorted to now a little over 51 million shares. I wouldn't say that that in itself is enough to jump for joy, but it is still worth paying attention to. The reason being that the lower short interest is, the easier it is, relatively speaking, to push and sustain upward price momentum. Now, even though the price action has been underwhelming as of late, Riot Platform as a company has been making some solid operational moves. The first one to note is with Bitfarm. Riot Platform previously tried to complete the acquisition of Bitfarm, but the offer was rejected, right? We all know this. Now, Riot Platform has not given up and is now taking a different approach, which involves buying as many of the publicly traded shares as they can. This in turn increases their voting power and ability to influence some level of decision making. As of the latest announcement, Riot Platform has increased its ownership of Bitfarm from 14% to now 19%. If they succeed in getting a director onto the board of Bitfarm, it would make it easier to achieve the acquisition goal, truly making them the largest Bitcoin mining company there is. So that's worth paying attention to. The second one is the successful acquisition of block mining in Kentucky. Besides expanding outside of Texas, the main benefit of this acquisition is the instant boost of 1 exahash to Riot Platform mining capacity. But beyond that, they increased their full year guidance of compute power from 31 exahash per second to now 36 exahash per second. Looking at the graph here, you can see how block mining in yellow plays into reaching that goal. There are two things that stand out to me as I look at this graph. Number one, as of Q2 this year, Riot Platform nearly doubled their mining capacity compared to 2023 as a whole, and at the close of 2024, they are now projecting to have 3 times their mining capacity they had in 2023. This should translate to more Bitcoin mined and increased revenue. Couple that with the price of Bitcoin expected to increase from growing adoption, ETFs included, and you get margin expansion, which directly translates to improved earning per share or EPS. That of course means profitability, and that is what will push the price of the stock up. There is one more factor at the macro level that comes into play, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But before that, looking at the Q2 earning results, there are 4 key takeaways to be aware of. Number one, Riot Platform lost $84.4 million, with $76 million of that coming from the decrease in the price of Bitcoin during a quarter. Number two, Bitcoin production was down 52% on a year-over-year basis, with 844 Bitcoin produced. That is to be expected, so nothing crazy here. That said, we should start seeing production numbers increasing on a go-forward basis, with hash rate now almost at a point that it should compensate for the halving. Number three, they sold 0 Bitcoin this quarter. They have in fact increased the amount of Bitcoin held by 28% on a quarter-over-quarter basis, and so between the Bitcoin held and their strong cash position, they are set up for success. Really, the only thing they need to do is execute and keep executing. Number 4 is share dilution. At the close of July, they have issued $588 million worth of shares from the $750 million they had approval to sell throughout 2024. And so the bottom line here is this: Riot Platform would not continue to increase their Bitcoin holdings if they did not believe the price of Bitcoin would increase further. With their cost to mine each Bitcoin around $25,000, they are currently pulling in a 62% margin on each coin. I fully expect that this will only improve over the next 6 to 12 months. And with the maximum share count almost reached, again, only $162 million worth of shares are approved and left to be issued. That means that downward pressure on the stock price due to increasing supply should start stabilizing. It's therefore not surprising to see that analysts covering the stock with their price projections 12 months out still have a consensus of a strong buy post earnings. As it stands, we have the 10 buy ratings holding firm with no sell rating and no hold ratings. The high end of the range remains at $23. The low end of the range is also unchanged at $12 even. The average consensus price target sits slightly lower at $17.78 versus the $18 prior. This represents a 109.18% increase from the current level and almost triple the returns when we reach the top end of the current range. No matter how you look at it and slice the information, there is some good upside expected here on a go-forward basis. The only thing required by investors is patience. Personally, I continue to believe that the most gains on this stock are still ahead, and for that reason, I'm still adding to my position. My last purchase was earlier this month with 50 shares at a cost basis of $8.45. I intend to continue to DCA or dollar cost average while we are at these lower levels. The last thing I will say is this, and this is where the factor at the macro level I mentioned earlier comes into play. Jay Powell with the central bank has finally signaled rate cuts being on the horizon. September or October at the latest is very likely to see the first rate cuts go into effect. Why this matters? Well, with loosening financial conditions comes a bigger appetite from investors for risk on assets. So crypto, small cap companies, and non-profitable high-growth companies tend to benefit from the low-interest environment. We have already started seeing a rotation out of the mega-cap stocks, so as far as I'm concerned, Riot Platform and Marathon Digital, for that matter, are well positioned to capitalize and benefit from the significant increase in Bitcoin prices in the coming months as this rotation accelerates. And so for me, this is the time to lock in and get fully positioned before the climb begins. You will have to decide if you agree and move accordingly. But on that note, that is it for me today. If you found value in my content, click the like button and share with others who you think can also benefit from it. And if you feel so inclined, use the thanks button at the bottom of the screen. For my newcomers, subscribe, it's free, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you too can stay in the know. I'll be back on Sunday for my weekly video and possibly during the week for an extra one. Till then, you can keep up with me here on X for crypto and NFT related news. Thank you for watching, stay humble, hustle hard, and I'll see you in the next one.